Welcome to the Odd Pod, where we're talking Kitchener Rangers hockey with the oddballs themselves, Andrew and Justin. Take it away, fellas.
Hey, Andrew. What's up? I'm up 1-0. You're up 1-0? Yeah. On the fact check? No. Oh. The Flames beat the Oilers in the Young Guns Classic this weekend. Here's what I'll tell you about this. Only a franchise in loser mode gives a shit. I didn't even know they played, right? Because I'm still thinking about the hockey, the important hockey that I watch in July. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm only going to get one win this season, so I'm taking it now. Okay, that's great. Yeah, you print the box score and hang it on your wall. I will. Okay. Maybe put it up behind me next week. Be my guest. Okay, Rangers talk in the Young Guns. What's it called? The Young Stars Classic, I think. You didn't watch. You have no idea. You were paying attention to it. I was paying attention. I forgot what it's called. About the playoffs already. Yeah. So you're still in depression mode. Bruce Davidge. Yeah. Killer assist. Blue line pass. Straight. It was good. He then scored. I think against Winnipeg. Like he had a clapper from the point that just like destroyed everyone. I hate it, great. But I'm happy for it. As a Ranger fan, if I can take the hat off for a second, yeah, I'm happy he's succeeding. Yeah. As an Oilers fan, I'm thinking about that. I don't even know who's going to play third pairing right defenseman. I know. Here. I know. And that makes me so happy since the Oilers have what? Well, it's the only 900,000 left in cap. The only way they can lose, right, is to just sabotage themselves. When you have two of the best players on earth, how can we make it as hard as possible for them? It's the only thing that brings me joy in life these days. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad we're here. Okay, so let's take a look at the trades. Let's hop into the box scores of the last 5 games. Sure. And then at the end, let's do a little rapid fire. What did we learn from last week? Okay, so trades. Carson Rehkopf. 1 million draft picks. 10 draft picks. He's not going to play for them. Yeah, he's going to be in Seattle. He's going to be in the AHL, right? Like, hope so. I hope so, too. Breaking down those picks. Rehkopf went to the Brampton Steelheads. They got 3 seconds, 2025, 2026, 27. They got 3/3, 2 2025s, and a 28. 3/4, a 25, a 26, and a 27. And then they got 1/7 for 2026. And a partridge in a pear tree. I like, though, just the one extra. Yeah. That was the one that put it over. If you've ever played fantasy sports and you're trying to make a trade and it's like you ask for that one extra draft pick and then the other manager says no. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, oh no, I have to have that 6th round pick. I really wanted that 17th round pick. I have to have it. That's going to be the difference. No. It's not. Just give the pick. Don't be afraid to lose a trade. They're not. They're not worried about it. No. We talked about this last week. Rangers are going into rebuild. Here's the thing is I got the feeling a couple years ago when they played Windsor in the first round and they were the 8th seed. I got the feeling that they weren't necessarily in a position to be challenging a number 1 seed, and they beat them. And that's when I got like so on the bandwagon. Even my wife, we went to the playoff games and we were just so like enamored with the Rangers fan culture and being a part of the movement that is being a Rangers fan. And I got the feeling that the Rangers were ahead of schedule. So I have a feeling, and then last year they were a better team and they came up a little bit short. This year it feels like a full rebuild, but I have a feeling that they will compete because the juice isn't going to have them. That's what I'll never, that's the coach. Okay. Why don't you fire up that name for us, Justin? I don't want to try. I don't even know where to begin. You see, but man, his hair, you know, it's perfect. Oh, to have hair like that. He's a beautiful man. Yeah, I would march into battles. He's also a bit scary. The juice, the big juice. He's Finnish, man. He doesn't mess around. He doesn't mince words. Absolutely not. He says what he means, and he means what he says, and it's scary. We had a trade yesterday, so we should talk about that one too. We did. That was exciting. I was like, we're now covering the Rangers, and there's stuff happening. There's actually stuff to talk about. You know what I loved most about this trade? is that the Rangers, in their article about the trade, put in how to say the last name of the player.
Beautiful. You know why? Because they're listening.
They were listening.
No, you're out there and you're listening to us. And you're probably wondering, do they fire off a cease and desist?
Okay, so Kitchener gets forward Andrew Vermeulen.
That's how I would have thought.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the funny thing is it wasn't a hard name.
No, I could have figured that one out.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, you couldn't. Not with the track record you have.
So they traded him to Niagara for a 2028 ninth-round pick. So he was a bottom sixer.
Hey, bottom six experience is going to be something they're going to need because if there's runaway games or there's games where it get out of hand, you can't have the stars out there playing hockey and getting in trouble.
And he's playing the game against Brampton this week. So
Perfect.
yeah, so we get to see
Brantford.
Oh, Brantford.
See, I get them confused too.
Yeah. They're the same place, right?
No, Brampton is where my wife is from.
Oh.
Brantford is where Gretzky is from. The two most important people in my life. I love one slightly more than the other. Gretzky. No.
I was too young. I missed it. Okay. Want to talk through some games? Now, there's a huge disclaimer that we got on this because you and I have been chatting all week.
Yes.
It's very challenging to find any sort of video replay of these preseason games.
I would say it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'd say it doesn't exist. No one is filming it. It's not being broadcast.
I think you're correct. Like we couldn't find it anywhere. So game one, Erie Otters, they won in a shootout. Okay, this is another exciting. I love little facts like this.
I love facts that you come up with.
Unless
they're wrong.
They won 4-3. That's going to come up again.
Okay.
Foreshadowing.
Okay.
We got goals from the first line. We got a good goal from the top line. Trent Swick I don't believe he played this first game. We got a Pug Life goal.
Beauty.
From the fourth line. So Pug Life's been really rocking the fourth line in preseason.
Yeah, I think like bottom six is where he's going to play.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of game he plays.
For sure. Yeah, Grinder, him and Vermeulen probably rocking it together.
Right.
This game got scrappy. These preseason games get scrappy, man.
I skimmed all these games and I was shocked. I was overwhelmed with the penalties, like blindside, check to the head, fighting, roughing, fighting, like slashing. I was like, okay, all right, this is preseason, boys.
The end of the game is just misconduct.
I was like, this is not being aired anywhere. What a shame.
Yeah, huge shame.
I mean, I prefer the game for the beauty and the sportsmanship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But the scraps are fun.
The scraps are fun. The CTE is not fun.
No. And you know what? There is a negative side to the beautiful game. Erie got a power play goal. So discipline, probably good. The Juice probably preached some discipline.
For sure.
Third period, 5 game misconducts. And the Rangers took 10 penalties in the game. Game 1, Erie Otters. They felt them. Tanner Lamb got the shootout winner.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I think he's going to play a lot of minutes.
He is.
And he looked good in limited minutes last year.
Yeah, I agree.
He seemed like a little spark plug.
Yeah, he's got the firecracker in him.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, game 2 was against the Saginaw Spirit. They won in a shootout. 4-3.
He was right. There is foreshadowing. 4-3 shadowing.
Jason Schabel was in goal.
Okay.
Yeah, this was exciting. Obviously still 3 goals against, but it was like 23 shots or 24 shots that he saved. It was like, pretty solid outing. He's young. So it's exciting that he's getting some time.
True.
He got a win. This was a much calmer game. Way less penalties. Only 5 penalties total.
They were sore.
6 penalties. Yeah. But who scored? Diacono, Pug Life, and Elena's.
Okay, well, Elena's, I think you can earmark that if Elena's is playing top line, he's going to be one of the leading scorers, if not the leading scorer.
Absolutely.
Is that an early prediction?
Yeah, you're doing
well. We put that in. Early prediction, Luke Elena's leads the team.
He hasn't played top line.
He hasn't?
No, he's second line.
I said if he plays top line.
Okay, if he plays top line, I don't think we'll see. Let's talk through the rest of these games because I think there's some exciting things coming. So they did let in a shorty, and then Elena's and Pug Life both scored in the shootout.
Okay.
So it was like Elena's was pretty fire that game.
Beauty.
He also has not played every game. Like, I mean,
That's
you got to rotate these guys
I was
through.
going to say,
Yeah.
his spot, he doesn't need to earn a spot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they need chemistry matches with him.
Yeah.
they don't need to see if he can play. He's pretty solid. Game 3, Brantford Bulldogs. That's where your wife and Gretzky are from.
No.
Oh,
Just Gretzky.
okay.
My first wife.
Princess Diana. They look the same. They do.
In the 80s, they definitely did.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's when we were married.
Game 3, Brantford Bulldogs. They won in a shootout, 4-3.
4-3.
Jackson Parsons in net.
There you go.
Yeah. Our boy, Trent Swick, with the goal, assist, and a shootout goal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I saw that one. I saw like a Rangers PR person, like Instagram angle
Okay.
of that goal.
Yeah.
I saw that one, and I, for some reason, thought there'd be more footage of the preseason.
We really missed out.
Apparently, we just need to get a job with the Rangers so we can see the preseason.
So the Rangers scored all 3 shootout goals in this game. So unfortunately, the Rangers, they were up 3-0, let in 3 goals.
They have to work on that because last year they were a much better team than I think the roster coming into this season, and that was their issue. Was they would take their foot off the gas a little bit. I think that when you're maybe a little bit more inexperienced and a little less talented, you will push it a little bit more when the games are close and when you're ahead. So I think that might be the bright spot about that, is that you have something like this happen in preseason, you escape with a win. That should be a teachable moment. The juice says, don't do this.
Game 4. Brampton Steelheads. They won in a shootout. 5-4.
Okay, well, that's different.
Threw it off.
It doesn't work the same.
This is when we're really starting to see Romano, Swick, and Arquette as the top line. Like we've seen this in the last couple of games. So that's been a pretty solid top line. It's not in the 5th game, but
I like that.
Swick being centered by Romano, that seems to be some fire. So this was another scrappy one.
Yes, it was.
16 penalties in the game.
Yeah. This is with the blindside penalty, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So many misconducts. There were so many misconducts at the end of this game. It was insane.
Yeah.
But we're here for the art of the game.
We are. We don't want to glorify the violence.
No, absolutely not. The captain got his first goal.
Good.
Yeah, this was a good one. Power play goal. Swick got 2 assists and a shootout goal.
Perfect. He's on fire.
But you know who was more on fire? Romano, 2 goals and an assist. The top line also took 12 shots in this game.
Wow.
6 of them by Romano. It might not be a cohesive team, but I think we're going to have one of those cohesive lines that's going to work.
I think you're right. I think the first line, if they're playing together like that much, that's set. I think like Swick is just going to be looking like a man amongst boys. Selfishly, I hope he stays with the Rangers because I think he'll put up some crazy numbers and he'll just be like a force. And I think everyone who plays with him will benefit from it. And I think that you've got Pug Life and who was
Vermeulen?
Yeah.
New guy?
Yeah. I think you've got some strength maybe in the bottom 6 now. And then, if Elena does come back, which I expect him to, and he's playing on the second line, then I think he's a talented player who could take a step this year.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly. Okay, Game 5, Oshawa Generals. They won in a shootout, 4-3.
4-3.
Came back.
Back to it.
So Jason Schabel got another game as goalie. Arquette got bumped down to the third line. Tanner Lamb did get bumped up to the first line with Swick and Romano. So it was like, it seemed like it was pretty good. Another 14 penalties and
wow,
buttload of misconduct.
Yeah.
Like 5 preseason games. I think they had like 25 misconducts. Oh, insane. Cameron Reed, 8 shots No.
He's the guy we talked about last week.
Yeah.
On the 2025 NHL Draft Watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 shots. That's going to be good. Again, this is the come back to earth moment. They won.
Yeah.
They won in a shootout. They outshot the Generals 39-21.
Wow. Is Oshawa going to have a down year because they were contender last year? Perhaps.
Yeah. They could be on the same swing. I'm unsure about that. Yeah. One thing that maybe this is my homework assignment for next week is starting to look into some of the other teams.
Yes.
Honestly, I probably couldn't name all the OHL teams. I learned this week that the Rangers are in the Western Conference. It made me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good. I like being a Western Conference boy.
It feels like home.
So we've talked about the trades. We've talked about the games.
Yep.
Let's do a little rapid fire research from last episode. What'd you learn?
I'm ready. I learned that as far as number of 16-year-olds that are allowed to be on the team, on the roster, they're allowed to register 4 16-year-old players. The first 2 players selected from the priority selection draft can be signed, and then a maximum of 2 more wild-carded players can also be signed.
Oh, cool.
However, any other 16-year-olds are eligible to be called up as an affiliated player or floating affiliate player, and it can play a maximum of 10 games.
But where do they go if they're not on the team?
Where do they go if they're not on the team? They go to an affiliated team. There are Junior B affiliates in the GOJHL or the GoJHL or the NoJoHL, which is the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League or the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey. Yes, I remember I specifically said they wouldn't go to Junior B because I would think that they'd go to Junior A. But no, some players choose to go to Junior A. If players choose to go to Major Junior, they would go to somewhere like a Junior B team until they're ready to take the next step. They used to have a affiliate here in Kitchener called the Kitchener Dutchmen. As of right now, I couldn't find any single one team that was affiliated with Kitchener Rangers. For example, Weston Cameron already played 2 games with the Cambridge Redhawks this season, 24-25.
Oh, wow.
So I think they just kind of have, players go where
Floaters
opportunity. And of course, the Kitchener Junior Rangers exist. And there's lots of different levels of that.
Are they? Oh, and so they're like U16,
U16 AAA, U16 AA, U18 AA, U15, U14, and then there's like girls teams. There's lots of opportunities with the Kitchener Junior Rangers.
What I'm learning is that Kitchener has like a deep-rooted hockey culture.
It seems like there is so much minor hockey in this area that there's more than enough opportunities if you don't make the major junior hockey team that you can marinate for another year before you can make the big squad.
So speaking of that, I learned a little bit about draft picks. So I learned that you can't trade first rounds, which we talked about.
That's true.
I also learned about the 2 different drafts, so the priority selection draft and then the U18 draft.
Okay.
So the priority selection draft is the one where the Evan Hedrick comes from, the players like that. It's a U16 AAA draft, 15 rounds.
Wow.
Like insane amount of rounds.
15 rounds, 15 years old.
Yeah, it smells like teen spirit in there.
Exactly, yeah.
And then the other draft is a U18 draft. So it's only 3 rounds.
If you missed being drafted in the 15 round, but you are a late bloomer, it happens.
It's nice that there's a built-in mechanism to deal with that because you wouldn't want to miss an opportunity just because at 15 and a half, you weren't at your prime.
Now, how does that work in with the Rangers signed Matthew Halakar as a free agent?
Yeah.
Do we know when they become free agents?
So players cannot be traded if they're in high school. Well, that's not 100% true. They have like essentially like a no move clause if they're in high school.
That's amazing.
So they
could you imagine? We got to get you to just drop out so we can trade you. Or just start failing all your classes because we need draft picks for you. So if you could just phone in the next few assignments so that you just expelled or flunked or. No, I know that would never happen.
So the no move, you can ask the parents.
You can ask the parents.
And as long as you help them move, it's accepted.
Like the team has to go and carry boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
Instagram is filled with the juice just carrying boxes for players that they trade.
Is that true?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I would be terrified. Before our thank yous, we should talk about going to the home opener.
Yeah, we definitely got to go to the home
A week from Friday when this releases. So I would like to say to you, Justin, and to my beautiful wife, please could I go with Justin to the game? We're coming back from the cottage that day, and I promise we'll do something fun that day. And then Justin and I will go off once you're doing the bedtime routine with our little 3-month-old nugget.
Next episode, so we got one more preseason game.
Okay.
And then we're going to be previewing the start of the season.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that by the time we are recording this next episode, we will know what the opening night lineup will be for the team. So we can do a little looking back at these preseason games that we just looked back at.
I'm excited.
Just see where Trent Swick and Diricolo, where they're going to line up, because I want to know.
All right. So thank yous. I want to thank the Kitchener Public Library, the Central Branch specifically, for hooking us up with this wonderful studio and all this equipment and having all the knowledge for how to make it work.
100%. And I would also like to thank Ken Bourne for our killer logo.
Oh, it looks so good. We almost look professional just because of your dad.
You can find us online on Instagram
at The Odd Podcast.
and on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it.
We're calling it Twitter.
Okay, thank you.
At The Odd Podcast.
And that's AUD, like the one on the thing you're listening on.
Like the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium.